Now this I like. It's
Being
new
alone
and
in a man,
tolerate it.
it can be difficult because you want to have
It's new
the other
and
that is
I
normal
can
for the
tolerate it.
situation of wholeness. But
All right.
in this
Maybe I
case,
should just restart this video.
it's
then.
great.
No, I can do this as it is and embrace my little speaker area where I'm at. I'm in the prime position in my kitchen. Now, what I want to share is more important than normal bullshit that I haven't even built up to. I have been ramping up to certain topics all together and simultaneously, and they're important. They're important is key on to sharing. Now, one of them is because I got an email from Verizon. The guy that emailed me back was like, "We don't have your resume yet." See, and I was troubled about this because trying to get my resume today, I couldn't even get in the Workforce Center, which has most of my bulk of work experiences on its resume done there. I remember doing it there in the past. I forgot, obviously, but to remember that I have all that work history already placed and formatted up and all that shit. Now, here's the thing. That job's probably not going to need that experience. And I had a good feeling I could at some point communicate my way to sell myself into whatever job. And I just made the fucking email and sent it to the guy. And it's laid out everything with his command of the English language, not wandering the fuck off topic as humanly possible for this human. And, you know, given my experiences in the matter, I've had such success before. And put it to sort of like, I'm ready. I want to do it. And I don't think that if I'm working from home with whatever I need, I'm as close to fucking there and should have a bunch of holes where the next experience is going to be anyway. You know, it's usually some sort of luck or something that seems to be what lands you your weird job anytime if you're able to transition into another field, as it were. It would only be the necessary um, skill sets that are not necessarily on the job from before because it's a new thing. Well, I put it all in there. It's not a formal resume, but like I said, I was left with the strong impression that I'd sent the best fucking email that I could get. Now, how did you get this question email from Verizon? Mrs. Jessica Watson, who I met on the app using all this shit, but very deliberately did I meet her because I was fully aware that I was Watson too and was just saying hi in a very correct context sort of way that still feels right and requires nothing else. Now, I think that's important. They even have that in all the other areas where it is within this app because there's a lot of fucking shenanigans going on here. But I digress. The shenanigans are always going to go on. Now, what level of participation are you at the future, or are you ready with yourself? Can you be? Well, I mean, did delete and then put this back on one time. And with the exception of just trying to have fun and see what can be done with it, as I'll put on the end of here a little funny piece of not very long video, but some that I did using some of the artwork capabilities. It's on the end. I made it with the other phone, and then I had to nearby share it to this phone, which it does that so much faster than if you just Bluetooth a file. It's ridiculous, stupid the amount of time that you would lose waiting for the Bluetooth. And I don't know what different it's doing that it can share something like that so fast and then make me wait. And that's part of the problem. There's a lot of areas where more people are having to wait all the time in the day and don't have answers or don't have whatever's necessary to be for their moment in time required to push forward. Now we all want that. We all want a little bit of validity in some of our capabilities. We all want a little bit of opportunity to try something different and see how it goes. I don't think if I were to try something different, like upon success of the email, if I were to have not a good experience doing the job or something like that, I could still chalk that into very useful experience and information that's in my ability cache, and then it's ready to go for where I'm at right now. See, one of the hardest things, and we know this is true, is that with all this new, and there's going to be more and more and more of it, and it's going to be machine. We still have left to question, and to me, I already know the answer is that our human body is capable of more than we are aware. To the degree that we challenge that, and we attempt to challenge it every day by pushing a little bit forward, we also, being in this flesh suit, have a strong love and desire for the creature comforts and the lazy side. That's not to say that you can't mobilize your soul in such a way as to get any of those capabilities available to you right fucking now. So having done that, having put that forward, I feel good about it. Does that mean I'll get it? No, it never means success just because of the certainty of feeling it. Does need to be with the sender in as much as I'm receiving the reality of getting the job because of this phenomenal fucking email that I just happened to send on a whim. I'm not basing anything on that, and I'm asking God, my creator and my higher self, to connect with me and to make that possible for me, possible for you, and possible for anyone else in the same sort of situations. And I think we're all sort of in a situation similar to. Although not too many people are recognizing each little important part that's their part to do the work on. But really, that's the trick with this reality, is you have to know upon what topic needs to be pushed forward, and then to keep on pushing forward is the content creator's fucking bread and butter. To find the new thing and how it fits you, where you're at in that, is always going to be the more difficult and adept of the chores in life. So on this one, I'm on point because I needed to do it. That's number one, and I know that. Now I found something like, I like this a lot. I want to put a heart by it though. I don't know about what it said. And I can put my phone in this damn speaker here, and then even in the back part where the phone doesn't necessarily go, where the handle is, I can slip it in there and I can get a more right angle to my face than is normally even possible. I got to lift it out and press that motherfucker with my fat little finger. All right, and I've done it. So I've got it. It's in my favorites, which goes on and on and on forever. The party never ends. The list, at least, it looks like it's going on forever. It gets mixed up. Now, there's another area. Now, and I appreciate some of the awareness that comes from the subscribers, because Tammy was saying, oh, don't do that. You shouldn't do that. I know. And mostly I don't, because I haven't. I don't have anybody. But what I'm going to go into it like this. Now, this person, let's just say for men and women, it's going to be a positive if you know where I want to be around women, or I want to deal with this woman, but you can release it and let go and stay focused on whatever tasks you have. It hasn't been until most recently that some of the ends of the containment for why the time and place is acceptable to be assisting someone else and then in offsetting a negative influence, let's call that her mom. Now, mom's a negative influence only in as much as the mom hasn't really been able to get her fucking gear of her soul body self situation and levels of ambient energy will drag you the fuck down. Now, partially this is due to a murdered fucking spouse. So there's some concessions made. But, I haven't conceded that to the audience yet. And it's a factor, though. It's a factor. Now, this person who, if I were to simulate it, and I did in my mind, this simulation that I have running or ran is already proving to be very useful in the intelligence that has been gathered. Okay, number one, whenever a person it becomes suicidal or starts to mention things that are suicidal, that's where I find that I have the wall of tolerance, where if I'm not going to be fuck you, get away, get out of here, and I'm already open to the possibility of like pressing in closer, then I have my own self-esteem to consider. And then someone else's tastes, of course. Because in the operation of the sexual shit, which when I realize that I can be both attracted and repelled by even the most physical only qualities, then I have this to deal with, because I know that I believe in my own self as at least being a Peloton bike for the night if things were to go right. And would that exercise bike be able to help in the change of calories into a body mass? Yes, I believe in it enough. The simulation of the period of time goes over well. There's no details. I don't see it like that. But what I'm saying is there are two cases in which this lust energy can go. And they can be put on a fucking, like a track, a beam. Like these lights are on a beam. And for another person, I have also a similar goal. Now, it's not manifested in any sort of physical anything at all. With one person, it is quite different than the other. But in as much as some of the things that pushed some of the boundaries or the understanding levels have recently occurred, because when I went with Bear the other day, and I was in my old neighborhood, coming out of my own house with somebody that I knew, and we were looking at each other the whole time with that crazy look where the driver's like, what the fuck's his problem? And that guy, I'm pretty sure knows the guy, but you couldn't tell. There was something that was obscuring this connection from being made. Now, we found ourselves in the store next to each other and we could communicate. We did. And some of the events and the communications that occurred were necessary for these areas where I'm doing the work in now. Which you could say like this. If you look at, like, say you have a substance, just for the sake of communicating, and if you used it as a medicine, were that the case, and this is theoretical and this covers other areas, you would find sometimes it wouldn't seem to be what is going on. It would seem to be that in some cases the energy, what happens, and all the circumstantial shit becomes highlighted to be worked on. Because if that were not the case, there would be no work. If you're not trying to push forward in certain areas, then why would you have the need to take the medicine that you take when you do your work? So it's sort of like a theme of body and chemical world shit. And the only reason why I say chemical world shit is because mostly your body's giving you this opportunity day to day as it is. The advanced areas of research, such as job, what you can learn during your job, what you can learn during discovery free time, they're not the same. They never are. But these are areas of importance. And in this area of importance, I found that there's a movement that's going on in the area that I need movement. So when I detached what I find to be an entity, pillaging my energies and such, and I've got more than is necessary, and I'm trying to couple that with a female partner or a form of love that exists externally and doesn't have any chains or doesn't have the same sort of backlash capability. So with this person, there is movement and there is some discovery because, number one, with the person, it will always be the advantage to make love rather than die. And if that's really what's on the table, then I can look at it and say that's always going to be more afforded from the creator than just fucking die. Fuck all that. So there is some notice where the just die moves in the context related to me, and I see where it has moved to be. There's another area where it's completely still unknown as to what's the tenable reason to even keep this fucking charade going. And that's sort of a shitty way to say it, but in a way it is. It's like, what is the value here? Now, if your mind doesn't allow you to think about something that you're fond of in the context of clearing it out, you'll notice that these areas are subject to that too. When you have a fantasy or an imaginal creative forward, you need to be able to, oh shit, you see what just happened there? You need to be able to move and roll with the flow and still stay able to do whatever it is that you've continued to do. And it may fucking throw you for a loop. But in this, the loop is not so unestablished now, at least in the ways I need to see and need to have some sort of hope and carry it on a longer stick dangling from the front, something like that, yeah. So it's achieved that. Now, even trying to communicate just using my normal words, when I communicated about missing the night that I thought I would have, that I wanted, and in some degree I'm still in that contest for it, you know, because it has to do with me and what's the point of even being with me? What is the use to the female that would be the target in the case? Well, I did discover some things, and I do know. And I know it's not the same things that you think. And I renewed that fucking faith in myself, albeit I'm placing it in a new area, or a new fucking gun has these bullets now. Let's say that. Because the other person's not really. I don't know their purpose in the matter yet. If they're going to be a positive influence or if they're not going to continue to drag. At least it feels like that person's dragging me, though, because they've made a lot of promises, as it were, and then just slip back into the same relationship they were in. So with a female counterpart and trying to do something with considering the female side of the energy being in the females, that's an important fucking thing to have going on. So I just want to share that because I know it doesn't seem like much, but when I had those two in the line, whenever I had lost my energy today, it was communicating about those two things. And on one end, there is an entity. It's not my entity. And there is a lock on and a firing at that motherfucker with the fucking sexy skeet, skeet, skeet being some sort of awareness and not fucking that. But it's just trying to put that into the bright understanding that should be able to be understood by even the simplest of people in as much as this is an adult topic. You know, because you can live the rest of your life and just be on your own and not be bothered with the whole sexual energy, or you can transform it and let it have a different form in your life. And that's sort of the way I'm going with it, because I ain't broke my seal yet. I'm still rededicated to myself because I ain't got but myself. So it makes perfect better sense like this. So in case you want to know, I wanted to tell this story because I did have an incredible renewal prior to this, at least on the couple of nights where I was fucking in that mode. And there are inappropriate things, and they're mostly based in the phone and still gang stalking because, like I said, it's still going to be me. But where it manifests and how it manifests shows me that I'm on the right track. Because one of the earliest experiences that I've had of being fucked with from myself of late has been the battery, which is fully fucking charged and hasn't been giving me no shit. So that's a sign of progress in one very small area, but an important one that could fuck me up because I gotta have that phone to do any fucking thing in the world that I gotta do now. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it makes sense because it's at least something that's an interesting thing for talk and debate, but it's also one that's near and dear to my heart because, like I said, I am alone, and it does matter. I think even where we fire our thought forms of this sort of shit. So have a nice day. Don't point that thing. So last episode, last time around here, oh, that lady was asking me something really nasty. Oh yeah, she was. What do you mean? I didn't even have it on. How can I have it on now? You don't let me have it.
Home base, this is Eagle. I'm looking at this cooch, and I've fired a one strike on it. It's not even destroyed. That pussy's indestructible. Please advise. Over that target. I need you to sniff that. I need you to sniff that head. What do you mean you can't sniff that head? You've got to, son. The fate of the world depends on you sniffing that head. What do you mean, what kind of smell am I looking for? You don't know what to smell for? What are you, some sort of noob? What are you where do we find you? Just open fire. Shoot a missile at the head. It ought to smell like cabbage. A light side of cabbage with a little asparagus. It seems like the command structure seems to have broken down. I guess they're not going to refuel me, so I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to find whatever it takes to put this fucking plane down in and just jettison my ass out this bitch. I'm the president here of this kingdom, huh? Well, hey, somebody scramble a fighter at that plane. Take his ass out. He's not going to fucking just walk away from me. I demand answers of, king of the kingdom. President, king of the kingdom. What do you doesn't know how to smell heads? What's he, fucking rookie? Huh? We got, what the fuck? Top, he's got the right stuff. Fucking asshole. Look, I'm your president. You don't, we won the election because we took the election. All right? You need to, look, I'm the winner because we took it. If I was to win a war, and I would come over to your place and I would take it. And then I would be in the boss chair saying, hey, motherfucker, it's mine. Because that's what I do.